It's 2 minutes after 6. Thank you for joining me on this Google Hangout. It's my first Google Hangout, so if we have any tech issues, you'll forgive me as I figure this out in real time. So far, so good. So thank you for being on this Google Hangout with me. It's very exciting. I feel very lucky to be here. So tonight we're going to talk about secrets to accelerated success. And I know that I did a whole video series leading up to this, a 4-part video series specifically, talking about fears and different obstacles that we can overcome as part of wanting to achieve our goals. So in terms of the Google Hangout tonight, let's get started. So if you are struggling with having a big vision but not being able to make it happen, or feeling as though you want more out of life and you're frustrated and you're feeling unsatisfied, you're unclear about what you want next, you feel like something is stopping you or holding you back from having all that you desire, and you're feeling intense fear around pursuing what it is that you want most, then you're in the right place. And what you're about to discover is a permanent, fast, and easy way to rid yourself of these invisible blocks that you have, that we all have, that come up for us. And the reason we want to do that is so that you can pursue what it is that you truly desire, overcome, what it is that's holding you back, become clear about what is most important to you, and stop settling for less than you deserve. And also break through your fear, literally break through these invisible blocks that are holding you back right now. And so, as you know, tonight's Google Hangout is titled Secrets to Accelerated Success. And why did I call it that? Well, because it's all about identifying and eliminating the invisible blocks. These are invisible blocks. We don't know that they're there necessarily, but they are literally keeping you from achieving the success and fulfillment that you desire. So who am I? Well, I'm the founder and director of S&H International. I'm an executive health and lifestyle coach. In my former life, I was a producer and field producer for a major television network, specifically NBC News in Manhattan. So I used to work on Dateline NBC and The Today Show and Nightly News, MSNBC specials. And in terms of training in the space in which I find myself now, I am a corporate wellness consultant and provider. I'm a master transformational coach, a holistic health coach, a life coach, a first-line therapy lifestyle educator, raw living foods health educator, a yoga teacher, a traditional Reiki master. So I have quite an extensive background, so much of which is focused really on transformation and personal change, and powerful transformation and personal change. And so what do? Well, I work with individuals. I do private one-on-one sessions with prominent executives and highly successful professionals. And I also work with groups and Fortune 500 companies. And I help my clients really focus on 3 areas and master these 3 areas in their lives so that they can get the greatest results, which are peak performance, personal excellence, and optimized living. So let's talk about the video series I shot leading up to this specific Google Hangout. I wanted to start the process of transformation for you a little earlier than our getting together right now. So in the video series leading up to this event, I shared with you 3 big lies that most people tell themselves and that keep them from achieving the results they desire and really achieving their highest potential is what it boils down to. So what are the 3 big lies? Well, the first one is, and again, I covered this in the videos, but just to recap, I can't because I'm afraid. So I can't do something, I can't start something, I can't accomplish something because I'm afraid. The second one is the idea of this outcome that I desire won't happen, or I can't achieve it, or I can't have it for myself because I'm not worthy of it, or I don't deserve it. And that is a really huge underlying belief that a lot of people have. And it can be crippling, essentially, in terms of your career path, your life path, and just simply not being able to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. And the third big lie is the idea of I can't start working on this project or this goal or whatever it may be, because I don't actually know how to do it yet. I don't have all the tools. I don't have all the information. I'm not ready. I'm simply not going to begin. So in the videos, I mentioned that the word fear, if you really break it down, so think about the word fear, right? Spelled F-E-A-R. If you break that down into what does it really mean, the word fear and the letters in the word fear can mean this: fantasized experiences appearing real. I'm going to say it again. So fear, F-E-A-R, can mean fantasized experiences appearing real. So what does that mean exactly? Well, think about times when you've been afraid in your life, maybe for your personal safety, or you were in a situation where you were being asked to take a risk and every part of you was backing away from the ledge saying, no, I can't do it. It's unsafe. So fear is actually a really healthy mechanism. It's designed to protect us from a survival standpoint, really from an evolutionary standpoint, from the time where we were being chased by predators on a regular basis. But the reality that's very important to, the distinction that's very important to make, is that fear is the direct result of our body's response to our perception of a particular situation. So do I feel as though there's a threat? Do I feel as if I'm in danger? If so, then fear will kick in, and it's brilliant. It will literally kick in to help protect you and keep you safe and allow you to survive an experience. So whether we perceive a circumstance or a particular situation to be dangerous has everything to do with whether we experience fear around it or not. And here's the beautiful thing, is that how we perceive a situation or circumstance is actually well within our control. So here's what's important to realize. Our perception of a situation is directly related to our deeply held beliefs, whether it's on a conscious level or a subconscious level. So generally the conscious level, we're more or less aware of what we may think about something. On the subconscious level, it's a little bit like an iceberg, right? You see the tip of the iceberg, but there's actually this tremendous reservoir of information, you could say, or deeply held beliefs that lives below the surface that we may or may not be aware of, right? We may be plugged into that, we may not be plugged into that. But the reality is that whether it's above the surface, what we're able to see, or under the surface, what we're not able to see, the subconscious, that has a huge, tremendous, enormous effect on how it is that we then go and show up in the world. And so what's really important is learning how to identify and eliminate the invisible blocks that we have in our lives. And a lot of these invisible blocks are both through the conscious and the subconscious, but especially the subconscious. And very few people do work around this. And so these are deeply held beliefs. And being able to identify and eliminate these invisible blocks, these deeply held beliefs, is really the secret to achieving accelerated success. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. It's how do we do work around these limiting beliefs and really learn to identify them and then eliminate them? And how does that allow us to shift? So on today's Google Hangout, what you're going to discover is a 6-step process that I use with my clients to identify and eliminate those invisible blocks that are holding you back and that are really preventing you from doing and having what it is that you want most. And we're going to talk about the real reason you may not be accomplishing all of your goals with ease right now, right? It's the rub, right? It's that thing that keeps on creeping up on you that weren't expecting, that sets you back or makes you lose an opportunity or whatever it may be. So, and we're also going to talk about what you must absolutely do to take your life to the next level, and powerful questions to help you really drop the subconscious negativity that is stopping you currently from living your life to the fullest. So in order to set yourself up for success this evening, what I would love for you to do is, 1, please turn off all your distractions. If it's a phone, if it's, whatever it may be, just go ahead and turn that off and just really stay present and actively engaged with me right now. And if you have a pen and a piece of paper available, And if you don't have a pen or piece of paper, you may want to get one. I can wait just a little bit right now and allow you to do that. But it would help to have a pen and piece of paper available. And when you do, please write down as we go through this 6-step process, what is meaningful to you. It's really important to write this down and to revisit it later, because you may forget some of this, but you are going to have some really powerful insights in the next 15 or 20 minutes that we do our work together. So, and if you have any questions, I am going to open up to a Q&A after this particular Hangout. But if you have any questions beyond that, please feel free to email me at support, so the word support, SUPPORT, @sylvainhouston.com if you have any additional questions. And so here's a great question. Why should you listen to me? So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey, just so you have a better sense of who I am and my background and how I got to where I am today. So again, I mentioned earlier, I was a TV producer working for a major network in New York City, in Manhattan specifically. And I was working very intense, deadline-driven, just pace of life. I was in a very deadline-driven environment, high intensity, quick turnarounds, lots of all-nighters. Generally, I was feeling exhausted. I was, feeling a little overstimulated. Just so much going on all the time. One story to the next. And I did breaking news coverage, so you can imagine that was pretty relentless at times, just in terms of the natural rhythm of that in that environment. And I was also following what was modeled for me when I was growing up by my parents and by other adults in my life, which was that life is hard work. That's what I was taught when I was growing up. Life is hard work, and it's a struggle, and you really have to fight your way through it all. And when I looked at that way of looking at the world, it just felt really discouraging. And I was having a hard time situating myself within that context. And I reached a moment in my life where a TV mentor of mine was diagnosed with cancer. And I watched her journey with this illness. And I realized that, in 10 to 15 to 20 years, that was going to be me if I didn't figure something out. And I was healthy and I was athletic and, exercising and all of these wonderful things that you're told to do. But there's just something on a gut level that told me that there had to be a better way, and that I had to go out and find out what that was. And so my life path really changed from that moment on. And I began to seek out just the best teachers and masters in the fields of peak performance and health and wellness and personal transformational coaching and mindfulness and yoga and movement. Just really all the people out there at the forefront of transformation. I sought them out. It didn't matter if I had to get on a plane to go see them or, go to another country to go find them. That was something that I was determined to do. And that is in fact what I did. And the more I studied, the more I transformed. But there were times where I felt myself sliding back, which is very normal. We all experience this, but I was keenly aware of this. I felt myself sliding back into old behavioral patterns that were no longer serving me. And it's natural, but I was fearful of transforming too much or too quickly, losing my sense of self, just having an awareness that if I transformed too much or too quickly, I would no longer fit in with those around me that I respected deeply, because I was shifting and perhaps they weren't. And what would that mean for me? And so I realized that there were additional tools that I needed to be able to create greater positive and more powerful change for myself. And that's where I began to study transformational coaching on a much, much deeper level and really at the mastery level. And so, as I said earlier, I'm very fortunate to have studied under incredible teachers and masters. And because of this, today, the skill set that I have is one that only the top 1% of coaches worldwide have access to. And that is of creating powerful, sustainable change. Creating change is one thing, but powerful, sustainable change is on a completely different level. And so, what has shifted in my life since then? Well, today my life is so much easier, more pleasurable, exciting, spacious, abundant. My personal and professional performance have improved significantly. My stress levels are far lower than they were, 10 years ago. And I really want you to understand this. If there's something that you walk away with tonight, I hope it will be this, but there's no reason for you to be suffering through life or feeling unhappy or unfulfilled or stuck. It is possible to have and experience a truly amazing and exquisite life. And whether it's in your relationship, your finances, your career, your health, or all of the above, it is possible for you. And so please, if you can, this evening as we're doing this Google Hangout, just keep that in mind and remain open to that. And so what's the problem? Well, the problem is that mental programming for all of us begins at a very young age, and it's influenced by what we witness or experience around us. And as this happens, beliefs become self-sabotage programs, just like a computer virus. So we see something, for example, that the adults around us will model when we're a child, and it becomes a belief where we react to it and we take it on, and it becomes a belief. And then over time, as we're adults, we'll either repeat those patterns or we'll be influenced by that belief that was created from that situation that we experienced, right? So those beliefs will become self-sabotage programs, just like a computer virus does. And beliefs affect behavior and results in people's lives. So something as simple as saying, I don't deserve this, right? Maybe not saying it out loud, but at least believing it, consciously or subconsciously, it can lead to an extraordinary business opportunity, for example, being turned down, right? You may turn it down because somewhere, you're afraid of failing or disappointing those around you. So what happens? You have this amazing business opportunity that's presented to you, literally on a silver platter, and some part of you is going to say, I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy of this. And so you will actually, without realizing it, find ways to not be able to successfully take on that business opportunity. Either the deal will fall through, your funding will fall through. There are incredibly creative and masterful ways of sabotaging something, and odds are that is what's going to happen, because the deeply held belief at the base of that is, I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy of this. So what's the solution, right? Because this is what's critical. What is the solution to that type of limiting behavior? Well, the solution is to take the virus out of the computer. And when you do that, you'll notice that the computer actually starts working with perfect ease, right? The issue has been removed. The computer functions perfectly. So if we can take the self-sabotaging programs out of the subconscious mind, right, then suddenly everything in life starts to work much more smoothly. And so this is why, because I'm sure you've asked yourself the question, like, why is it that most positive thinking and motivational material doesn't work? Well, this is why. Because unless you eliminate that self-sabotaging negative programming, which is over here, from the subconscious mind, which is here, right, that's lurking in your mind, unless you remove it and you eliminate it, it doesn't matter what success formula you try to apply or self-help system you follow, it simply will not work, because it's still there. It's still embedded. It's still hidden. It's still this invisible block that's there. So what happens when it comes to addressing your limiting beliefs? Well, if you don't address your limiting beliefs, here's some examples of what can happen. You will miss out on pivotal opportunities in your life where making a quick gut decision is critical. You will not be able to make that decision in time. You will remain stuck where you are presently and always wonder why nothing changes in your life. Why is it not getting better? Why can't I fix this? Why can't I get out of this rut? Why can't I break this cycle? It will just keep on going on and on and on. And you'll also never achieve your full potential and experience what might have been possible for you. So there'll be a sense of, oh, my life path could have been different. I could have achieved so much more, but I didn't. And you'll always wonder what could have been. And that sounds terrible, right? That sounds like a terrible place to be. So what is the answer to not experiencing all of those terrible things? Well, the answer is this 6-step process to discovery about yourself and your subconscious beliefs that I'm going to share with you right now, which is very exciting and very powerful and transformational. So I'd like to walk you through now this 6-step transformational process. And it's one of the transformational processes I use with my private clients, really at my highest level. And it helps you identify and eliminate, as we talked about, those invisible blocks that are holding you back and preventing you from achieving your goals and your dreams. So what I'm about to share with you and what you're about to discover may seem simple, perhaps too simple, but don't be fooled, because it's actually not. And the process you're about to go through has created profound and dramatic change in people's lives, and it will for you too. So I'm excited to share this with you. And all that's required is that you just show up fully as we do this exercise together, and just be very honest with yourself and just be very present right now. And I will do the rest. I will walk you through this and just be open to the experience. So what is this 6-step process? Well, step 1 is to become aware of your resistance. So what does that mean exactly? Well, resistance, right, fighting something, is the glue that holds our beliefs together. So without first gaining awareness of what's really holding you back, right, that resistance, you can't let go and change. So here's how it works. Tune into, I want you for a moment, you can just close your eyes if you'd like, tune into a desired outcome or something that you would like to see yourself doing or accomplishing. So just as you have your eyes closed, think about a desired outcome. Something that you would like to see yourself doing or accomplishing. Okay, and now just check in and notice if you feel any resistance towards that desired outcome. Anything in you that's kind of pulling or saying, no, I can't have that. No, I couldn't possibly. Kind of scary. It feels uncomfortable. I don't really want to think about that thing. Whatever it may be, just notice and allow yourself to simply observe what comes up for you without any judgment around it. Okay, so go ahead and open your eyes and just write down, some maybe physical sensations you had in your body around that. So what came up for you? Did you feel mildly nauseous? Did you feel tense? Did you feel a sense of avoidance, wanting to not deal with it? What came up for you? Was it, churning in your stomach? Your lower back was kind of hurting, or whatever it may be. Just check in with yourself and go ahead and write that down. And write down the outcome too at the top, what you were imagining, and then the physical sensation that you associated with thinking about achieving that outcome or working on that. And step 2 is to identify the underlying belief. So this is a very important step, and it will allow you to put your resistance into words, which is really important. So naming something has incredible power, and it allows you to really start working with that feeling of resistance. So if you could put the sensation of resistance that's coming up for you into a phrase or a thought or a belief, what would it be? So I'll say that again. So if you could put this sensation of resistance that's coming up for you into a thought, a phrase, or a belief, what would it be? So just a moment ago, I asked you about what does that feeling of resistance feel like in your body. Now I'm asking you, if you were to put that feeling of resistance into words or that sensation, what would the phrase, thought, or belief about it, what would that be? So go ahead and write that down. And step 3, when you're ready, step 3 is to question your belief. So the power of this step is enormous. So often we don't actually question our thoughts, and we just believe that every thought that passes through our minds, rightly or wrongly, is completely legitimate and fact, and that's the way it is, and that's the truth, and so therefore I'm going to act on it. But here's what's really interesting. That's not necessarily the case, right? And this goes back to the idea of fear as being fantasized experiences appearing real. So just stay with me here, but let's explore questioning your belief. So how do you go about questioning your belief? Here's how it works. Simply ask yourself, right? Is it true? So you have a thought or belief, and you ask yourself, is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? So is it true? And can you absolutely know that it's true? For a fact, absolutely know that it's true. And if so, how do you know that it's true? What proves to you that it's true? And then even more powerfully, ask yourself, has it ever not been true? So just check in with yourself around that and that limiting belief that you had in mind. So I'll repeat that again. So simply ask yourself, is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you know that it's true? And has it ever not been true? So go ahead and just jot down some of your realizations around that. And so step 4 of this process, again, very powerful and transformative, is to understand the consequences of holding on to this belief, right? So most of us have not taken the time to really understand the consequences of holding on to most of our current beliefs. So we go about our lives and we, live day to day, have our goals, accomplish some, don't accomplish others, but we're never necessarily slowing down to take stock and to see how it is that our limiting beliefs may have tremendous consequences in our lives. So here's the key to getting clear, which is so important. So I want you to ask yourself this. How do you react physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially when you have this thought, when you believe this thought, right? So I'm going to say it again. How do you react physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially when you believe this thought? And I really, really want you to dig deep here. It's so important. Just take a moment right now. Give yourself the gift of just being present and answering this question for yourself. So when you have this belief, how do you react physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially when you believe this thought? Okay, so now let's move on to step 5. And this is all about exploring your life without this belief. So believe it or not, there is life outside the boundaries and conditions of your beliefs, right? Beliefs are just thoughts. Thoughts are things. There is life outside of them. So when you believe a thought, it can feel like that's just the way that life is, right? But it's just a thought in your mind. It's nothing more than that. So how do you explore life without this belief? You simply ask yourself this. What would your experience, so what would my experience, for example, without X, right? So what would your experience, with X in your life be without this belief? So if it were impossible to have this thought, right? Completely impossible to have this thought, who would you be in the world at large, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially? So if it were impossible, I'm going to say it again, if it were impossible for you to have this thought, who would you be physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially? Think about this for a moment. It's actually really very powerful. So what is step 6? Step 6 is the final step in this process. And step 6 is all about understanding the consequences of not holding onto this belief. So by seeing how much we stand to gain without the belief, we send a signal to our brains to go for a better alternative, to go for what brings us greater well-being and pleasure. So how do we do this? Well, we do this by noticing that with the belief, right, by believing this particular thought, whatever it may be, you're going to experience X outcome, okay? And without the belief in this thought, right, you're going to experience Y outcome. So with one, you experience X outcome, which may be pain or suffering in some way, or discomfort or unhappiness or frustration or whatever it may be for you. And with the other Y outcome over here, where that belief is not present, right, you experience peace and a greater sense of happiness, of joy, of satisfaction, of ease, of whatever it may be. So I want you to ask yourself this question. So remember, X pain, Y peace and ease. So ask yourself this question. Would you rather be holding on to this belief over here and experience that pain, or would you rather be over here and feel free? So here's the beautiful thing. By using this 6-step process regularly, you will do so many things, but you will easily begin to dissolve the barriers you imagine are holding you back from your dreams. You will find your resistance melting away and being replaced by confidence and a sense of peace. You will free yourself from the pain of lack or scarcity and allow yourself to have it all. And you'll begin to powerfully break through to the next level and start to overcome your fears. And do this on a consistent basis and in a consistent way that feels really good to you. So thank you for being here tonight and for really playing full out and for asking yourself these difficult questions and just taking a time out in your day. I know everyone's so busy, but just really showing up for yourself and for going through this 6-step process. And I love sharing these kinds of transformational tools with you because I know that you can release what's holding you back. And when you do, that's where true magic happens, right? That's where you get results that you've only dreamed of, that you didn't even know were possible for yourself, or that you thought maybe, just maybe in 20 years I'll accomplish that, but not before. And suddenly you're able to make that happen now in your life. So I'm not going to pretend to know exactly why you showed up today. It could be a variety of reasons. It could be that you're feeling stuck or you're frustrated in your life right now, whether it's with your finances or it may be your relationship or it's your job, whatever it may be, or it could be because you're just tired of wondering if life, could feel easier and more abundant. You're done with this whole struggle thing, or you're just curious and you wanted to learn something new today. So whatever you showed up for, whatever your reason is for being here, I just want to say thank you for being here, for taking the time. But I also want to leave you with this one gold nugget. And this is what that one gold nugget is. Your world and your results will transform only when you transform. So I'm going to say that again because it seems like a simple concept, but it's actually really, really profound. Your world and your results will transform only when you transform. And so here's the big question, right, that we all ask ourselves, and that's hard to answer. But there is an answer to it, which is how can I make my success, whether that's in my business, professionally, or personally in terms of my well-being, how can I make my success inevitable? How can I create an extraordinary life for myself and really eliminate, everything that's holding me back? How do I do that? Like, where do I even begin to do that? I've tried, how do I do that? And so here's the answer. you work with a powerful coach. And you want to work with a powerful coach who can really help you do some very distinct things. So you want this coach to be able to help you achieve maximum clarity around your goals and the life that you wish to create. In order to create change, you have to be clear on where you are and where you want to go, right? Which makes sense when you think about it. You also want to work with a coach who can help you achieve high levels of energy and focus and productivity and excellence, just personal excellence in your life. And that's on a personal level and that's on a professional level, right? And you want to work with a coach who can help you learn powerful techniques that you can apply so that you can achieve the desired change in those key areas of your life. And that's not an easy thing to come by, right? And lastly, you really want to find a coach who can help you experience a greater sense of life satisfaction, of happiness, of abundance, of fulfillment than you ever thought possible. And the bottom line to all of this is that's a coach. If you can find that person, that is a coach who can powerfully accelerate your path to success. So with that, I'd love to invite you for the next literally 2 minutes or less to go to my website, and I have a page on there, and I just want to invite you to have a look at this and walk you through it. And we may or may not be a good fit, but if this speaks to you, please just keep an open mind and really listen to what your gut or your intuition is saying. But and I'm going to pull the website page up as well so that you can look at it with me. But if you're on your computer and you want to look at it on your own, the website address is this. It's my website. So it's www.sylvainhuson.com. And I'll spell that for you. It's SYLVAINEHUGHSON.com/VIP, right? So the letters VIP. And I'm actually going to pull it up for you. All right. Hopefully you are seeing this. So this is my VIP Intensives page. Again, it's sylvainhuson.com, SYLVAINEHUGHSON.com/VIP. And when you look at the page, as you scroll down, there's a little intro in terms of, are you ready to take your life to the next level? And 3 life-changing benefits of a VIP intensive. So what this is concentrated time that's one-on-one with me. And it can be in person. It can be done virtually, so by phone and by video conferencing and things like that. It happens over the course of a couple days, depending on whether it's in person or virtually. And everything is listed on my website. So I'm not actually going to go into all the details, but I just want to invite you. I just want to show you where the information is if this is something that speaks to you, and invite you to have a more in-depth look. But when you work with me and you do a VIP intensive, I have longer term programs, but this is something really where in 2 to 3 days, we create tremendous shifts in your perspective, in your clarity around what it is that you're looking to accomplish, around concrete next steps, what your strategy is, what your execution plan is, what the timing is, how you're going to roll that out, implement that, and with a lot of support and accountability and, a follow-up call, so on and so forth. So very powerful work. But what are the 3 life-changing benefits of doing a VIP intensive? Well, one is clarity, knowing exactly what to do, and you'll see this on my website. Another one is focus, so you're maximizing your results. And the third is transformation. This is one of the most powerful ways in a short amount of time to really upgrade your life and upgrade your experience and break through to that next level. So as I scroll down here, you'll see for the VIP intensives where you come to me in Denver, Colorado, there's a beautiful description of what your experience will be like. And I invite you to really take your time and have a look at that after the Google Hangout and just really take that in. So I'm just going to scroll through that. But when you do come to Denver, it's really wonderful. You stay in a gorgeous hotel. It's actually also where my office is. And, we go to meals together. We, again, have this very intense one-on-one time. We make sure that you're pampered and just really having some wonderful self-care time, some different activities. And then after you leave Denver, if you're doing an in-person VIP intensive where you come to me, you will always, for all VIP intensive, have follow-up support and guidance from me, which is really hugely valuable. My clients really, really enjoy that. But as we scroll down on the page, you're going to see that there are two different kinds of VIP intensives I offer. And one is specifically our success coaching focused. And there are three options there. So one is the Personal and Destiny Blueprint, the Money Belief Breakthrough, and the Life Without Limits. And then the other type of VIP intensives that I do are health and vitality focused. So really, helping you jump to that next level from an energy standpoint, a mental clarity standpoint, helping you detox, helping to green your home, helping with weight loss, all of those things. If you really want to jumpstart or take your health and vitality to the next level, I highly, highly recommend these VIP intensives. And I've had tremendous results with clients and they love them. And it's very hands-on. It's a lot of fun. And essentially I take care of everything for you. And you show up and I come into your home and I assess what's going on. And then literally by the time I leave, a couple of days later, everything is done. And you have all the tools that you need, you know how to use them, and you can begin immediately to continue, on the path that we've set out, and also to really start to reach your goals much, much more quickly than you would otherwise. But let me just show you. So for the Success Coaching Intensive, for example, let's say that you are interested in exploring a life without limits. So you can actually go ahead and click on the icon that says Life Without Limits. So just go ahead and click it. I'm going to do it for you so you can see this. And you're going to see a little description that says, what is it? And then what will it do for you? So what will it do for me? So what is it and what will it do for you? And it will literally outline step by step what the benefits are of that particular intensive. So I'll just quickly walk you through Life Without Limits. So what is it? It's a powerful opportunity to discover a permanent, fast, and effective way to drop the limiting beliefs and stories you've so innocently clung to and automatically create more of what you want in your life. So whether you feel like something's holding you back from the fulfilling relationship, financial wealth, and success you deserve, or you just want more out of life, then this VIP intensive will give you the tools and the insights you need to break through your hidden blocks and create the results you desire. So does this sound familiar? We've been starting to do some of this work literally on this Google Hangout today. So what will it do for you? Well, you will go beyond all mental, emotional limitations that are holding you back and preventing you from creating what you want more of in your life. You will uncover hidden blocks of success and then release them. You will move powerfully forward towards the success that you deserve, and you will align the tremendous resources of your unconscious mind and align them with your conscious desires, and really just merge those two into this extraordinarily powerful combination that will really propel you towards your goals and achieving them. So again, please visit this page. Please take your time perusing everything. There's a lot of information. It's really just wonderfully informative and transformational. And then I have a little section that says who benefits most from my VIP intensive. So if you're deeply motivated, you're willing to invest in yourself, and you're highly coachable. I do not accept everyone who applies for a VIP intensive necessarily to do a VIP intensive with me. I need to make sure that it's a great fit, that there's synergy there, that we'll both enjoy working together, that you will, really receive the maximum benefit from it, which is why I always like to have a conversation with and get to know better those that are wanting to do the VIP intensive. And so this is what I would invite you to do. If, this conversation right now around the VIP intensive, the concept of it, our Google Hangout tonight is really speaking to you on a gut level, what I would highly, highly recommend is that you just at the bottom of the page, you'll see this. You can probably see this on my screen right now. But at the bottom of the page, you will apply. It just says apply for your VIP intensive here. It's not a formal application since we're doing this call. I'm well aware of that. Normally it is a more formal process, but right now just go ahead and click that button. So apply for your VIP intensive here. And I'm literally doing this on my screen too, so you can see what pops up. So what pops up is this application, and just go ahead and fill it out. Put your contact info in there, go ahead and just answer the questions. And we will obviously get your information. And then my assistant will follow up with you literally in the next few days. And we will schedule a time for you and I to speak, and we'll have a deeper conversation around what your goals are specifically and all of that. So again, this is a formal application process, but don't worry about that in the context of this Google Hangout. For this Google Hangout, and if you're watching this, just go ahead and fill it out, hit submit. We'll get your information. I'll have a look at it. We'll schedule a time for us to speak, and then we can take it from there and really delve into whether it's the best fit for you and, what the most strategic next steps are that you can take at this point in time. So now that we're here, fantastic. And so here's the key, right? As you fill out this application, and if you're asking yourself, is this the right fit for me? Am I ready to do something like this? Here's some questions I want you to ask yourself is, are you ready to commit to action and transformation? If you are ready to commit to action and transformation, then this is a beautiful fit for you. If you know that you want more and you deserve more than you're currently experiencing, again, go ahead and please just fill out the form. It's complimentary. You have nothing to lose by doing it. You and I will be able to connect, which will be an amazing experience. And if you believe in your potential and your capacity for positive change, and if you're ready to invest in yourself and your future, please just fill out the application and let us help you do the rest. If you're ready to be stretched a higher version of who you are and who you can be, and you want to dramatically improve the quality of your life, again, bottom of the page, just click on that button and allow yourself to become unstuck and to powerfully move forward with support. And if you're that high achiever and you want only the best, again, please apply. And if you want to go beyond the group coaching experience, because there are group coaching programs out there, but it's not the same caliber and quality of experience. If you really want a customized plan that is specific, right? Really keyword specific to you, customized just for you, your goals at this very point in time, right? Your pace of life, your very specific environment, so on and so forth, really customized to you, then this is absolutely for you. So again, I'm just so grateful to have been on this Google Hangout with you. And if this has spoken to you, please go to the application at the bottom of the page that I showed you, and we'll set up that complimentary call for us together. And while we're on the phone together, we're going to do several things, right? And this is such a beautiful process. And I love connecting with potential clients and just individuals like this. So we're going to clarify your vision and your goals. And we're going to determine the core or key areas that you want to focus on. So are you wanting to focus more on success, so maybe more the professional realm, or are you wanting to focus more on success in terms of well-being? So more of the health and vitality realm. So that could be, more on the personal side of things. And once we get clear on that, we can start to also identify what's getting in the way for you of reaching your goals, right? Because the reality is, if we knew how to do something, and if there weren't obstacles in the way, then we would have already accomplished that. But if we haven't, then there's something going on and we need to take a look at that. So by the end of our call together, when you and I have connected, you will have a clear sense of which VIP intensive is the most strategic next step for you. And also you'll walk away, even if you decide, you know what, maybe I'm not ready for a VIP intensive now, or I am, but I'll be more ready in 2 weeks from now or a month from now, whatever it may be. The point is you will walk away with some concrete next steps to help you experience greater ease and flow and abundance and just general life, a higher level of general life satisfaction. So thank you for being on this Google Hangout with me tonight. And again, I invite you to go to my website, sylvainhughson.com/VIP. So SylvainHughson.com/VIP. And go ahead and have a look. Again, just take your time, peruse. It's a beautiful webpage. It's very informational. It will tell you all about the experience. Just really take your time savoring all of that information, and then just go to the bottom and click on that VIP application button and fill it out and hit submit, and we will receive it and we'll follow up with you literally within the next few days. And I look forward to connecting and speaking with you soon, and to learning about your goals, and to powerfully supporting you in achieving the results that you desire. And most importantly, in helping to accelerate your path to success. So with that, I wish you a wonderful night. And again, if you have any questions, please just email at support@sylvainhughson.com. So again, that's support, SUPPORT, @sylvainhughson.com. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, and I wish you a wonderful evening. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you.